Hi guys, how are you? How is everyone today? Okay. Hi guys, how are you? How is everyone feeling? Hey, hey. Hey guys, how are you guys? So today I want to talk about loneliness. Loneliness is experienced by a lot of people, and sometimes someone can be alone but not feel lonely, and you can even be surrounded by people and be the loneliest, right? So yeah, I just wanted us to talk about this, and I just want to find out how you people deal with loneliness, especially in situations where you feel alone. And yeah, you might feel like you're stifled, or you just feel unheard. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, but it's just that feeling like deep down in your gut that you feel, and it affects your emotions as well. um yeah, so if you're just coming in, we have a question in the poll. The question is, have you ever felt lonely when you're surrounded by people, even when you're surrounded by people? I'll say it once more. Have you ever felt lonely even when you're surrounded by people? Yeah. Yes. So I'll appreciate it if you come in and vote so that I can at least, uh, have a feeling of what you guys feel or what your thoughts are. Yeah, so loneliness is actually, it's that state of mind where you feel like you're not linked to any, it's the state of mind where your mind wants to be linked to human contact, and you feel like you're not, you're not linked with that, or you're not in sync with that. I'll just give an example. Sometimes the happiest person in the room, the person who looks the happiest, or the person with the brightest smile, most people think that this person is not lonely and this person is okay. But when all is said and done and this person is alone by themselves, that's when, it really hits. Yeah. And so sometimes I feel like it's important just to peel the layers, especially if you're having a conversation. A normal question that people normally ask is like, oh, how are you? But my feeling is, even from experience, people don't really pause to hear the answer, It's become more of just like a greeting in passing. It's like, hey, how are you? Bye, like it's hi, bye. Yeah, and I had to also just question myself because I've done it many times, and nowadays I really try to be intentional, like even when I ask person sorry how they're doing, uh I just put it in my mind that maybe this person might really want to pause and speak to me, like exactly, like talk to me about how they're doing. Maybe this person would want to open up, So I always ask this question while having that in the back of my mind. Yeah. Yeah. So I just feel like it's very important for us to be really intentional and to just extend grace and kindness. I understand sometimes the situation does not allow, sometimes you're in a hurry, or sometimes, yeah, so you'll just be like, I don't know which greeting we can use though. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it's just like, I don't mean like you have to pause every time. And avail yourself every single time, because you can only extend yourself so much and stress yourself so much. Yeah, but it's just like keeping in mind that when you're having conversations and you're asking the person how they're doing, especially if it's in a family gathering, a family setting, or friends, you're going out or you're visiting, or you're going camping or whatever you guys do. Hi Derek Max, hey, how are you? Yeah, so yeah, I've answered you, Derek Max. I've asked you how are you? How are you doing? Oh, you're doing good. All right, that's good. Um yeah, so uh the thing is, sometimes it's very difficult to spot out who could be lonely, mostly because such people will distract themselves, by doing other things, or even like I said earlier, when you're in a gathering, there will be the loudest person or the happiest person. And sometimes it's very heartbreaking to find out that that person was in a very lonely place, and other people cannot really handle that state, and they go on to do drastic things that affect not only their lives but their loved ones. Yeah, and it's just because maybe someone would have reached out, or like, even someone in their lives could have spared maybe a minute or two to like get to really find out how the person is doing. Let's just do a spot check right now, right? Like, how many friends do you have? You can ask yourself, how many friends do you have? um, when is the last time you spoke to your friend, or when is the last time your friend spoke to you? When did you really have like a genuine conversation, trying to find out how your friend is really doing? Like, even when they say they're good, but you keep on, just, of course, not in a pushy way, but in a loving way, just trying to find out how they're really doing? Yeah, so I have been in these situations numerous times. Yeah. And yeah, sometimes you just have to deal with it, because what can you do? In those moments, I can't be like carrying a banner and I'm like, hey guys, I'm lonely. I'm lonely. Hello, hello. Hear me. Listen to me. Yeah. So sometimes I would smile, but inside you're just crying and you're broken and you're hurting, and you don't know how to start and who to talk to. You're just in a confused state of mind, basically, right? Yeah. So if you want to know how a lonely person behaves, I really don't know how to explain that, but I can only share my experience, what I've gone through. Yeah. So it's very important for us to know when we feel lonely, to know what we need to do to get ourselves out of that space, because you don't want to go in so deep that it's so hard to get out. Yeah, and also just to be very aware of our surroundings, of the people who surround us, right? Okay, so as I continue, guys, please show me some love by subscribing to my channel. Yeah, and you can like the live too. All right. Yeah, so loneliness can really increase stress depending on how it's managed. All right. So, and sometimes loneliness just comes like in phases. So you might just be lonely for a period of time, and then you snap back and you're in your happy mood or your stable mood. Yeah, but in cases where it leads to stress, it could lead to stress. And then we know that stress can easily lead someone to depression. Yeah. And depression is something you cannot wish even on your worst enemy, right? Yeah, it's a very lonely, deep, dark hole that no human being should be in. Okay, so yeah, uh, so I don't know the things that we can do when we feel lonely. you know. um I just feel like sometimes, like for me, I can share and say that in certain situations when I feel lonely, and sometimes I just feel alienated, I just try to think of the things that, I'm blessed with, and I try to remind myself of these things. I remind myself of my blessings for life, that I am blessed with life. I'm blessed with good health, and I'm blessed, just to be alive. So I think those two are like the most important things for me at that point. Yeah. And yeah, so I try to really remind myself that I have a reason for living, that I deserve, to live. Yeah. So those are the things that I try to remind myself, of. And I snap out of it. Sometimes I snap out of it like almost immediately. Sometimes it takes like maybe hours or days. Yeah. But eventually I snap out of it, and I thank God for that. Yeah. And also, the other check that I do is I try to look at the people who surround me, okay? Like, I try to look at my friends who surround me, my family, who are like maybe where I'm staying, or maybe far away from me. And I just look at the last time we actually checked in on each other. Are we in touch with each other? Is the communication still open? If so, is that a relationship that I would like to rekindle? And one thing that life has really taught me is like, sometimes some relationships just outrun their course, and you can't force it, but sometimes we overlook the people who really care for us, and maybe because of life, maybe because of the things that they go through, they have not really been able to be in touch, but they still think of us, so I look at that, and then I try and reach out, yeah, to those people, and see where our relationship is. And when we reconnect, sometimes we have very good, hearty, healthy conversations, and I remind myself that I am loved, and that there are people who really, truly, genuinely care for me. And the same grace that I expect is the same grace that I try as much as possible to extend to the other people. Yeah. So for example, you can have like in your contact list, you have like your family members and your friends, and you're like, oh, no one is checking up on me, no one is doing this, no one is doing that. But what about me, or what about you? Yeah. So sometimes we have to point at ourselves and be like, what have we done, yeah, in this relationship, to make it grow, to make it thrive? So it should be like give and take. It should not just be give, receive, 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 or one person should not just give, 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 right? Anyway, I'm saying all this to say that I also acknowledge the fact that you can still be lonely even when you're surrounded by these people. And that is the worst form of loneliness for me that I've ever experienced. When you're alone, you're like, okay, I'm alone. Like, what can you do? The best you can do is maybe hope to make friends or acquaintances, or rekindle relationships with your family members. But when you're surrounded by all these people, when everyone thinks like you're the life of the party, you're the funny person in the group, or you're the go-to person when people need things to be done, and people really depend on you, but you feel very, very, very lonely in that situation. That to me is like the one that I feel is very, very scary. And yeah, and people should really, really try to address it as soon as you feel that kind of loneliness, and you look around you and there are so many people who identify as your friends and your family, but you still feel very alone and lonely. Yeah, that time you really need to do something. You really need to maybe reevaluate your relationships, or just dig deep down your soul and find out like, why are you lonely, you know? Maybe it could be like a lack of fulfillment. It could be like a challenge in life. Maybe you're going through a rough patch in life. Or it could be something that you don't really think is actually affecting your emotions and making you feel lonely. Yeah. Sometimes it's really hard to pinpoint exactly what's making you lonely. Yeah. But just having that self awareness and knowing that, you know, the state you're in is not good and you really need to do something about it, I feel like that is already a win for me, you know? I feel like, yeah, that is a win because you're aware of it and you're able to find ways to overcome it, you know? The danger lies when you don't know, you know? When you don't know what's ailing you, that is when you feel you don't even know. You don't even know that it's a situation that needs to be addressed or to be treated or to be, you know, overcome, like I said earlier. And we all reach breaking points. Believe you me, you can only like fake it for so long, you know. You could be like, hey, happy, blah, blah, blah. But there is that one day that you're gonna break down. And when you break down, it's not gonna be good. It's just like someone having a motor vehicle, and you don't service this vehicle, you know, or maybe you just service one part and you neglect the other parts, you know, and you're like, oh, the vehicle is good, it's good, you know, it's functioning and it's fine and it's, and then it might break down, you know, when you least expect and when you really need it. And when it breaks down, that's it. Yeah, it's, yeah. So imagine if it happens that way to a machine. What about a human being? And human beings are very important and very precious. And yeah, so I was in a very, very lonely place at some point. And this was at a point whereby I had people who identified as my friends. You know, I have you know, family members who sometimes, because of distance, it's very difficult to like get in touch in different time zones, and people just get busy with their lives. And I just had to be like, okay, you know what, why why is this happening to me? Yeah. And I decided in that phase of my life to just spend time with me. You know, I was like, I am going to spend time with myself. And that is the best decision I ever made because I got to know me. You know, I would spend time with my thoughts. Do you know that in this day and age, very many of us don't spend time with our thoughts? Ask me why. Because we have so many distractions. You have your phone, you have the TV, and it's not just like cable TV or normal TV like in the beginning. You have all these different channels or networks, you know. You move from Netflix, you go to Tubi, you go to what is this called? Lifetime, what else? Amazon Prime, so many, Apple TV, so many stations. So if you're like into watching TV, that's why for me, I'm not really a TV person unless I'm watching like a movie or like there's some important news I want to watch or maybe just a series here and there. But I do not want to be a couch potato. I refuse to be a couch potato. Yeah, because you can easily be dragged into that. Then you have your phone. How many apps do we have on the phone? You know, so many apps that you can't keep up. It's a lot. It's a lot going on, you know? Yeah, so I took this time to just spend with myself. And at first, it was very awkward and and very difficult. Yeah, very difficult because I didn't want to confront my thoughts. I didn't want to just spend time with myself. No, I was so scared. I was like, oh my goodness. I think the first time I didn't even do like 2 minutes. I could not do it for 2 minutes. I tried meditation. I think the farthest I got was like maybe 5 minutes, and that was on like my maybe fourth try to meditate. And I don't even meditate like anymore now. I think I just need to do it continuously and like read more about it so that I can know how to do it right. Yeah, but the more I did it, I was getting more comfortable with myself. I would have like just conversations with me, you know? Who is Angela, you know? What do I want for myself, you know? What are my ambitions? What is my passion? What makes me happy? What makes me sad, you know? Uh I would just ask like what's my favorite food? What would I like to try? And I would just spend so much time with myself alone, maybe in my room, or sometimes I would go out just by myself. So, this is a true story, guys. Uh, up until this moment that happened, the moment that I'm sharing now, that happened like a while back, I would never walk to a restaurant and sit down and eat by myself. That I would not do. I would be so uncomfortable. I would feel like everyone is watching me. People are watching me. I'm just super uncomfortable. I would not enjoy the food. I would just want to dash in and dash out. Yeah. And then, so I had to like really put my life on hold for so many years because I would make plans with people. Yeah. And another life lesson that I learned is like, don't ever depend on someone. When you make a plan, always have another plan B and plan C and even up to Z if you may. Because sometimes people don't prioritize you as you think they do. You might think it, but they don't, you know? And they can drop you like a hot potato even at the last minute. So it happened to me. That is a story for another day. But when I was now in this journey of finding out more about myself, spending time with myself, I got like confidence and courage and boldness that I can't even explain where that came from. I don't know. I really don't know where that confidence came from. And I would walk boldly to the restaurant. In fact, what I normally do is make reservations, you know. I call and I make reservations, but unfortunately most restaurants they really don't like take reservation for one, like table of one. They'll be like, oh, you can just walk in, you can just walk in. Sometimes they make reservations, you know, but very very few. I'm yet to get, yeah, very few restaurants actually do that. But anyway, so I walk in, I order wherever I need to, I eat, I enjoy myself, you know. And during that time, I'm just spending time with myself, how? With my thoughts, you know. Just sometimes when I'm seated outside, I just, you know, enjoy nature, enjoy time with myself, and it's very fulfilling. If you've never tried it, please do. I'm telling you, please do. I even learned how to take pictures of myself, you know, without having to ask any person, you know. And sometimes you would not believe that that picture was taken by me. Sometimes most people don't, they're like, oh, who took that picture? I'm like, me, like, how? How did you take it in that, you know, position and stuff like that? And I really learned a lot of things about myself. It helped me focus. It helped me just like really think about my purpose in life, my purpose here in earth, or on earth, sorry, wherever the case may be. Yeah, so that season was beautiful. I love it. It made me stronger, bolder, you know, more courageous. And it just ignited a fire in me, you know, that I'm glad I still have going on now. And if need be, I would still take myself out on those, dates, so that I don't lose that, I can still, reconnect with, with myself. And in during this journey, I just realized how mental wellness is super, super duper important in our lives. Your state of mind, your emotions, very important. Learning how to control your emotions, having self-control, knowing when to cry. It's okay to cry, have that ugly cry, ooh, if need be, cry it all out. Then when it's time to laugh, like I laugh so loudly. My laugh is I'm sorry. Sometimes I laugh and it rings out so loudly, and I'm proud of that. Yeah, it makes other people uncomfortable, but it's my happy laughing moment, I'm not hurting anyone. That is how I express joy. And you know what? I laugh it all out, and I take these moments as they come. Uh, instead of being, let's say sometimes you really want to laugh and then you muffle it. Of course, we have the emotional intelligence to know when to do stuff, but when you can do it, why not? Be like a child. When a child wants to laugh, the child will laugh. When the child wants to cry, they will cry. No shame. They ain't no shame in this game called life. Ain't no shame in this game called life. You know? Like, why? I ask myself a question. Why do I put a lot of importance, a lot of thought into what the other person is thinking about my action? You know? Of course, be kind. We are all raised to know how to behave ourselves, in public, situations. And so, yeah, even with that, don't let that like stifle you, to the point that you're just like, like you can't live your life. No, be free, relax, enjoy life, if you've ever wanted to like go somewhere and you're trying to make plans and the schedules are clashing and clashing and clashing, maybe it's just a coffee date and you keep planning, maybe with your friend and family, and it keeps clashing your schedules. Oh, let's go for coffee this day. Okay, no, my calendar is like this. Okay, let's do. And they keep on rescheduling. You know what? Go for that coffee day by yourself and you will enjoy it. Oh, hi, can't be stopped 88. Where are you from? I'm from Kenya. Welcome to my channel. And guys, please show me some love by subscribing. Yeah, so go and do it. If you want to go to the beach and you've been waiting to go, sometimes maybe other people don't even have friends. Yeah. And you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could go to the beach, but I can't go by myself. Oh, I need to wait for someone to like maybe be on holiday or finish school. No, go to the beach and live your best life, Don't let anything stop you. If you can do it, do it, Hey, I love your smile. It's warm and beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. So don't let anyone hold you. Don't let anything hold you. Do you love yourself? Take care of yourself, Because how can you love someone else when you don't love yourself? Ask yourself that question. Yes, amen. How can you love someone else when you don't love yourself? So learn to love yourself. Learn to spend time with yourself, Uh, after all, let me ask you, who are you working so hard for? People wake up in the morning. Some people wake up like at 4 in the morning to make it to work on time. Others wake up maybe like at 5 and they only get home, only at dusk. There are people who do the graveyard shift. You're working at night, and working at night is very difficult. It's the most difficult shift you can ever work in your life. So you're working, you're making all this money, you're draining your energy, yourself, and then you cannot treat yourself. Not me, girl. I said no. you know? And once I realized this beautiful truth, let me tell you, I've been enjoying myself, you know? So please don't put your plans on hold, because as I always say, you know, tomorrow is not promised. That is what I always say. Tomorrow is not promised. You could get out, cross the road, and you're gone, you know? You could, some people even just eat, you get choked, you're gone. Anything can happen. You could go like to bed and sleep, and that's how you're gone. So why are you holding back? Do not hold back. Do not hold back. You want to start that new hobby? Go ahead. Make it work for you, you know? You've been really wanting something, and you know, you're trying and you're saving up for it. Do it. The first person you should consult is yourself. You know, you can get advice from people, it's you know, and opinions, you know. Sometimes when you're married like myself, you discuss with your spouse or your partner, but there are just those things in life that you have to do for yourself. You cannot wait for someone else to do it for you. And sometimes it's just the little things in life, yeah. So all I can say is we all feel lonely at some point in our lives. We feel lonely. Sometimes even people like couples could feel lonely. Even married people, sometimes people would feel lonely. It's just a journey that all of us are on at some point. Sorry, that's happening with my time. Yeah, it's something that we find, you know, happening to us at some point in our lives. But should that stop us from living life? Mm-mm. I say no. I say no. I say no. How many people live like next to a water body? Maybe you live near a beach or a lake. When is the last time you walked down just to like even just sit and feel the breeze hit you? When? When is the last time? Yeah? But you're working from Monday to Monday. You're working so hard. Some of us work like away from home, you know, and you only get to go for vacation. Some people call it holidays, others vacation only maybe once in a year. Others do it maybe even once in 2 years. And all the rest of the time, you're just working. No, take a break, you know, pause. Spend time to yourself. Ask yourself, who are you working for? Number one. Number one, you're working for yourself, to take care of yourself, to fulfill your needs and your wants. Of course, we can't fulfill all of our wants, you know. My want list is from here to there's so many things I want to do. So many things. Yeah. But first of all, it's to take care of you. Then, if you're married, taking care of your spouse. Then you have your family members or your kids. So that is how it should be. But start with self. Start with yourself and you will not regret it, you know? Have a schedule, plan. Okay, if it doesn't work, at least no one disappointed you. You disappointed yourself and you can always reschedule. I mean, you're the one with the calendar, it's all your time, yeah? Take time to enjoy the fine things in life, the beautiful things. Like, do you know how many people like live in their own city, but they never go to like certain places? You know why? Because they think, oh, that's for tourists. That is for the tourists. Why should I go? No, you should. It's your city, it's your town, it's your village. Enjoy it. Why would a stranger come and enjoy what God has given you to enjoy? You know? You don't want to go to your grave, not going to places that people travel miles and miles and save for years and years and years just to come and see. But God has placed you there and you can't even go. Why? Because you're working for who? For who? Because you don't have friends? You're your friend. You are your friend. I'll give you an example. So when I was in Dubai, I went to Dubai for work. And so in Dubai, um, the kind of work I was doing for the most part was like shift work. There's a time that I had like an 8 to 5, yeah, an 8 to 5, and I had the weekends off, so that was lovely. Oh, that was amazing, yeah. But there were the most part of it, I was doing like the shift work. And Dubai, as you all know, has the tallest building in the world, Burj Khalifa, you know. UAE, United Arab Emirates, which is the country where Dubai is in Ras Al Khaimah, one of the Emirates. It has the longest zip line in the world. Okay? In Dubai, in Marina, Dubai Marina, they have the longest urban zip line in the world, where you're just like over the waters. Okay? The Ferris wheel, like in London they have it, and it's called the London Eye. So this is like Dubai Eye. It is the largest, even though now it's not functional, and that is one thing I regret, because I had planned to go there, because you'd go sit, and there were cabins where you'd sit and order food and have that experience. I missed it, and that's one of my greatest regrets, you know. Yeah, I missed it because now, by the time I was leaving, they had stopped doing that, because I think there was an issue with, I don't know the details, but they had just stopped and it wasn't functioning. You could just like see it. Yeah, but you have such things, and people work. There are people that I've heard of, and some that I know, who have worked in Dubai, in the UAE, for years, but they've never gone to the Burj Khalifa. They might have taken a picture from outside, you know, and just take a picture, but they have not gone into the building. They have not experienced, you know, what people travel miles and miles to come and experience. And the excuse would be like, oh, it's so expensive, blah, blah, blah. Mm-mm. You can always find a package. You can always just find parts, and you don't have to go and spend all your savings or all your income. No, but you can plan to just go, you know, and see. At least just go in the building. Take the elevator that goes like very fast until you feel like your ears are blocked, you know. Do such things, you know. And I'm so happy I did, you know, most of the things that I really wanted to do. So it's not just a story or something like that, you know. And do it yourself or with friends, but just do it, you know. Live life. And that is what really helped me to really fight loneliness, if I can use the word. Fight loneliness. You will not get the best of me. Loneliness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yeah, what is my parting shot? My parting shot is that loneliness is normal. Do not be ashamed, okay? Do not feel like you're all alone. You are not. And even if everyone else leaves you, you still have you, and you're your biggest supporter. No one will ever love you more than you love yourself, okay? So, apart from, you know, God, for those who believe in God, but I'm just speaking in terms of here on earth and our relationships with, you know, with other humans. So, starts with the self-love, starts with the self-care, you know. Other people can't even remember the last time they went to a salon for like grooming, you know. You don't have to do it every time, but just put it somewhere in the plan, so that you look good, you feel good, you smell good, you enjoy time with yourself, you know. You go to places that you want to go to. You try a new hobby, you know. if your hobby is dancing, if your passion is maybe knitting or crocheting, or your passion is maybe swimming, whatever you want to do, start. It's never too late. You might be 18 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60. I don't care how old you are. It is never too late to start, you know, and this will give you so much happiness, so much fulfillment that you will never get from anyone. Don't rely on someone else to give you fulfillment. Do not rely on someone else to make you happy, you know. Start by yourself, start by knowing you, and you will just love you back, if that makes sense. Yeah, so love yourself, and that's the only way you can spread love out there, you know. And I wish you all so much happiness and so much love and peace, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for participating in the poll. And for those who are returning, my subscribers, I thank you ever so, so much for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough. For the new subscribers, I hope you make this your home, and by just showing me love by subscribing. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you and ciao. And thank you. Oh, thank you so much for voting to. We got 21 votes. So the question is, have you ever felt lonely when you're surrounded by people? 95% says yes, but 5% say no. Thank you so much, and I love you all. Mwah! Bye.